is asking for something a little strange. It's giving you a slope and a point and saying, hey, there's a line going through this point with this slope. And it's asking you to write an equation, but it wants you to write a slope-intercept equation. And what's tricky about that is we don't know the intercept. So for example, we know the point. I'm just going to sketch it, right? We know we're over at 6, 4. There's a point somewhere over here. We know the slope is -1/3, which will look something like that. But in order to write a slope-intercept equation, we need to know the intercept, which is this y value right here. So how can we figure that out? Well, there's some tricks you can use to sort of count backwards, like you can make a table and sort of go backwards in the values, but they're all a little bit tricky. I think the easier way is just to say, well, I've got a slope and I've got a point. What if I wrote a different kind of equation first? What if I started by writing a point-slope equation? That's not what the question is asking for, but it's a helpful sort of intermediate step. If you want to write the point-slope equation from a point and a slope, it's super easy because we have all the information we need. You've got this little template that you can sort of fill in. So our y needs to be filled in with this value from the point. So our point is 6, 4. The 4 becomes a -4. The 6 becomes a -6. So putting the y with the y and the x with the x. And then the slope goes right here. So -1/3. All right, this line right here is a correct equation for this graph, but it's not in slope-intercept form, which is what they asked us for. Fortunately, we can do a little conversion. So we can say, hey, I've got this point-slope form. I'm going to turn it into slope-intercept. So we can turn this into slope-intercept form. And here's the way we're going to do it. We are just going to distribute the slope. So if I distribute the slope, the y minus 4 stays the same. But now -1/3 distributes and it becomes -1/3 x. And -1/3 times -6 becomes plus 6 divided by 3, which is 2. Well, okay, now we're a lot closer. The only thing that we still have to deal with is this -4, and we can add 4 to both sides. If you do that, you end up with y equals, okay, the -1/3 x stays the same, so we still have -1/3 x. And then the 2 plus 4 becomes plus 6, and check that out. Slope-intercept. We wrote a slope-intercept equation. So if you were being asked to write slope-intercept, but what you have is point-slope, I would just write the point-slope and then convert it. I think that's the easiest way.